last season, and I'm always like, well, no, but I don't look any further than the next game, to be honest, and I don't think you can at my age. My contracts have always been for 1 year, especially in the last 5 or 6 years. I've never had a contract more than a year, so I just keep going, and I'm enjoying it, and I think as long as you've got the love for it. I have spoke to many players who finished the game and they've said, Fletcher, players, as long as you can. Oh
yeah, absolutely. What about management? And we'll move on to managing in a minute with Bournemouth, but what about management for you?
I'd love to be involved. Obviously, I'd love to be involved in Bournemouth. I'd love to be involved with Eddie Howe and Jason Tyndall. I've been in the game since I was 15 when I left school. Signed up for Hartlepool United and as a schoolboy, and for 23 years now, it's all I've ever known. I'd love to, but you just don't know what's around the corner. And at this present time, as we speak, the main thing I'm concentrating on is playing. If I can help Eddie and Jason out in any way, as I have done on the odd occasion, I'll do that. And I do speak to them. He's a good friend of mine, and it's nice to see what goes on behind the scenes. Sometimes you get a different view on things, see how things work. But at the moment, I'm still a player, and I'm trying to hold on to that as much as I can.
Steve, going on to the other subject, you talk about management at the Cherries, and I know you were relieved, all the squad must have been relieved that Eddie Howe said he wasn't off to Palace, but there's stories again doing the rounds locally that Burnley could be the destination. What have you heard?
Well, Burnley were the first club we were interested in, Eddie, before the Palace and Charlton saga. And from their point of view, obviously, they've got no one in charge and they were never going to go away. We knew that. Eddie made his decision on Tuesday, told the boys he's going to stay, which, as you've already pointed out, was a great weight off our shoulders. What he's achieved in 2 years is phenomenal. And the players, what we think of him is, it's magnificent to have that love for a manager. But things happen in football, you just don't know. And then we've come in this morning and we've been looking at the TV and Sky Sports News, and it's all over the place that Burnley now have made an approach for Eddie. To be honest, we've trained as normal this morning. We're travelling to Colchester in a couple of hours. We're going to go up. We've got them tomorrow night on the box. I've spoke to Eddie this morning. He didn't really mention too much about Burnley, but he doesn't have to because it's all over the press, it's all over the local news. But unfortunately, with management, what will be, and I think Eddie just probably himself needs to put it to rest one way or another. But yeah, Burnley, big club. It's going to be a difficult one, that's for sure.
Bournemouth, though, 1 point off the old automatic playoff positions and going really well. It would be a shame, wouldn't it?
Oh, that'd be a massive loss when Eddie came in just over 2 years ago. He took the club from obscurity and going out of the existence in the Football League to pushing for promotion to the Championship. I mean, it's surreal to think what he's achieved in 2 years. He brought me back 2 games after he'd been there and resurrected my career, like I say, when I was at Crawley. And for that, I owe him everything. Not only he's a good friend, he's been magnificent to me. And I would be probably one of the most sorriest to see him go if he did go. Obviously, I hope, and I speak for all the players as well and everybody involved with the football club, supporters alike, that he doesn't go. But you just don't know. You don't know what's going to go on in the next 24 hours. But he's been unbelievable. What he's achieved, staying up in the division after 17 points adrift, and then getting promotion the next season, and like you said, to be a point off the top 2 teams in this division. We've only known success really since he's took over.
Well, Steve, good to talk to you as always.
Thanks,
congratulations
Steve.
Again. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much indeed.
Steve Fletcher there made his 500th start for Bournemouth at the weekend. The thing is, when he points it out, they survived with that deduction. They got up the following season. He's a good young manager, and he's always going to be in demand. And whether it's Burnley now or it's somebody else in a couple of months' time, it's going to happen at some stage, isn't it? He's bound because he's hot. He's a hot young manager,
doesn't he, to eventually end up in the Premier League?
Yeah. Well, he's one of those managers that always, when they say if a chairman's going to take a chance on a bright young manager, then his name always comes up. So, you do feel it's only a matter of time for him. Although Mac was funny, he said, I don't think he wants to move north. And we were thinking, well, there's not many options then. If you're managing Bournemouth, it could be Metz or someone.
Toulouse, I say.
Yeah. Anyway, it's 3:15. Got some other stuff to run past you very shortly. Sam Matterface will be joining us, and Dean Holdsworth as well. He's been on the move, hasn't he? He's moved from Newport to Aldershot. And,
another good young manager.
Former Wimbledon player. Yeah, we'll be having a chat with him in the next hour as well. And don't forget, Adrian Durham and Darren Goff will drive at 4 this afternoon.
And this just in, good news.